What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Gameweek 12 podcast, episode number 71. We've got the crew back after a long time. I think this is like after a long time we're having all three of from the panel back. How is everyone doing? I'm joined by Karan and Rush. And how are you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks, Ryan. FPL wise, not so much.
Yeah.
But doing great. Yeah.
Both have moved houses as well. Rush, how's everything going?
Yeah, good. That's why I've been pretty busy last probably few weeks, and I think this is my first podcast this season. I believe, or maybe second one. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yeah.
This is your second one, right? I think we did one together right at the start.
Probably, yeah.
Preseason.
Second one, yeah.
Yeah, preseason. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm getting back into it now, into the full scheme. So I managed to maintain my rank somewhat, I believe.
Back when Nicholas Jackson was a good player.
Yeah, he still is. He just got a hat trick last week.
Yeah, the worst hat trick of all time.
It was kind of like a FIFA game, but no, it's good. Yeah, looking forward to next few weeks actually. So it's pretty interesting.
Indeed. So we're going to discuss quite a few things. But yeah, welcome to the Football Chatbox, everyone. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and we'll get started. So a game week to forget, I guess. Do we want to start straight away with the teams? Is that the plan, Karan?
Shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Let's just rip the band-aid off.
Rip the band-aid off.
Exactly. Okay. So starting with the teams straight away. I had 33. Lascelles on the bench, although I never intended on playing him. Bit crazy that 3 Newcastle players got 3 bonus points. Gordon, because of the yellow, was kind of off the 3 bonus points. Simicas benched. Ash, shoulder injury. Maybe might be okay. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Ariola is just shit because West Ham just can't keep a clean sheet. Saka 0.02 XG in the last 3 games. So sad. Madison potentially injured, but maybe not too bad. Gordon did well. Mitoma, thanks to an Ashley Young masterclass. Salah, that's just Darwin Nunez. Watkins, I don't know. I might have broken him on the Gameweek 10 wildcard. And then Haaland decides to, roll his ankle, avoid the game that freaking City trash their opponents, and then goes and scores 2 in the Champions League. But yeah, that was my team.
That's 3 returns, Ryan. That's very good for this game.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So on the brink of a green arrow, tiny green, because I think the safety score for me was 32. So that was me. Rush, 29. Onana returning a clean sheet. Oh wow. My days!
It's about time.
Indeed.
Yes, I think in a game week where there weren't many clean sheets, it was probably one of my only 3 players who returned actually. Mbeumo, I'm still holding on to him, surprisingly, which is giving me some points. And then Gordon and Baldock in the bench. That's my only returns really. And the rest were just filling in numbers. But yeah, I need to have a big think about my team and make a few transfers. I've still got 2 free transfers. So I need to think about what I'm going to do over the upcoming weeks.
For those listening on the podcast, so he's got Pedro Porro, Luka Dean, Simicas, Walker, and Mbeumo we mentioned, Gordon, Salah, Saka, Joe Pedro, Haaland. Still have Rashford. Keeping the faith. Look at that. Now with Luton coming up, maybe you might. I don't know.
That's what I said against Fulham, and look what happened to that.
Fair enough. That was because he was being a naughty boy and went out partying after we lost the derby. Then Baldock, Morris, and Turner on the bench as well. And then we move on to Karan, who has Ariola, Cash, Pau, Simicas, Dalot clean sheet. I think you've gained the Dalot points in the last few weeks. San, you also have Mbeumo, Saka, Salah, Darwin, Haaland, and then you have Enzo on the bench along with Morris, Burn, and Turner.
Yep. So I mean, not much to Darwin Nunez probably cost us both about 12 points between Salah and Darwin. But just the variance. Like Tsimikas was apparently dropped due, I don't know, because Gomez is a bit more physical, right?
Yeah,
and
so
that was a consideration for Luton.
I think it was because they crossed the ball a lot, right, Luton? And I think because of that, Gomez might be a better choice because of that situation. Now,
where did that theory come from?
Are we
trusting that?
No, I don't know. I saw someone posted on Twitter just based off
because
like Luton's.
If we're trusting that, then by that logic, he's going to get benched against Brentford.
Yeah, that's the problem. But then again, the result was not great. So does that mean he's going to get benched because of that? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, so that's basically it. We ripped the band-aid off. We'll talk about the teams later back, but we'll kind of go straight to the fixtures. So I've got the hop on, hop off. We can kind of, I guess, what we're targeting is Crystal Palace is still pretty good for anyone who's looking. Arsenal, we're in Gameweek 12 now, so Arsenal are just about to kick off their pretty good run of 4. You've got West Ham there as well, who still have a decent run, and that's.
Shall we talk through each team's fixtures?
Yeah, probably. So you want me to go like from here, or should we just go from
let's chat through the fixtures, and then maybe we can chat back to this.
All right.
Is Spurs Wolves?
Yes.
Oh, no, this is. Oh no, so I mean the results.
Oh, you want the results of the games that just played in Gameweek 11?
Yeah, or we can talk to the fixtures.
We'll just talk to the fixtures and we'll this thing. So, Wolves versus Spurs. Now, injuries.
Spurs let's talk injury list. Like, who are we missing? We've definitely got Romero out for sure. 3 games.
3 games.
Van de Ven out for long term.
Udogie.
Who else is?
Yeah, Udogie
out. Udogie.
For
how long is Udogie out?
1 match suspension because 2 yellows.
Yeah.
Yellow cards.
Madison
potentially.
Yeah, Madison potentially.
Madison probably could be okay. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Richarlison long term out.
Yes.
Perisic is out.
Yeah. So
who plays left back?
Emerson Royal potentially.
Okay.
With Eric Dyer
centre back,
and I don't know who is going to partner him.
Yeah,
that sounds.
There's not many healthy defenders left. Hey, it's like Porro, Dyer, Emerson Royal,
Ben Davies, and Eric Dyer back too probably.
Ben Davies is still injured too. Apparently, he's still got a knock.
So that doesn't really bode well for those of us because all 3 of us have Spurs assets. All 3 have different Spurs assets. And we're like wondering what exactly should we look to do with these Spurs assets. Given that, I think the thing is, Ange is going to attack, right? He's kind of come out and said that this is how we play. Even when they went 9 men down, they were just like going for it. So he's going to attack. That's not the problem. The problem is, will the lack of defense affect their attack?
I would say yes. Like, I think they use their fullbacks to like build up and play through the middle. So not having Udogie, and not having centre backs who are as good on the ball as Romero and Van de Ven. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think they're going to struggle to progress the ball.
That might be the case.
It's going to be interesting what they do with the defense. Actually, they pretty much got no defenders.
Yes,
like they probably promote some kids from their under 21s or the reserve squad. That's the only option. I just don't see where they can play anyone else in centre back apart from Eric Dyer. No one's healthy.
No, I don't.
Højbjerg maybe. Yeah.
Højbjerg, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you basically this is the worst case scenario that could have happened for Spurs because they don't have much depth and then they just got hammered with like suspensions.
It all happened in one game as well. They're doing so well.
Yeah, exactly. So now, initially this would have been a good game to have Spurs assets and hold, but now what are you guys thinking in terms of Spurs players? Keep.
I wouldn't rush to bring in Spurs players.
Yeah.
I just think that before the injury situation and how they were going, I think Maddison and Son were very, very good options. And a lot of us are stuck with Udogie or Poro, I mean, I don't see the panic in terms of transferring all your Spurs players out right now. It's probably just a watch and see how the formation is for this game. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be rushing in to bring in any Spurs players for this game week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should bring any players in, but between selling and retaining,
yeah,
I'd be tempted to sell defenders.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it depends what you want to do with transfers. Like, it's sort of good to come back from the international break with 2 transfers, right? So I'm likely going to roll. Yeah.
So, but
if I had two free transfers, I might think about taking my Spurs player.
Yes, that's a lot of people have 2 free transfers. I've got 2. I think Rush has 2 as well. So let's start with like the attack, right? So you've got Heung-min Son and Maddison. If Maddison, because I think Heung-min Son is slightly different situation compared to Maddison. I feel like Maddison might be more impacted by the loss of these defenders compared to maybe Heung-min Son potentially.
Why is that?
Because he'll have to do more of the defensive work as well, right? If needed. Son is most likely still going to play that striker role, getting behind. There, I feel like the lack of ball progression from defense to midfield to attack will put a bit more pressure maybe on midfield.
Like I think Son will still play as the outlet.
Yeah,
but he's going to get less service, right? If the team isn't clicking all the way, and he's expensive, so I'm not.
So if you had to sell, where would you go? Saka or?
I think you could go Saka, Bowen. Like, there's a few options that frees up a couple of mil as well. So yeah, I'm not really. Well, should we just segue into Arsenal then?
Yeah,
unless there's anything to mention from Wolves.
Yeah, before we do, defense as well. Kind of like, I guess we'll talk about potential options that can come up as well for defense. Because I think just quickly going back to the previous one, because if you look at Spurs, where are Spurs? Here we go. So they got Wolves, and after that they got Villa and City in the next 2 after this. And then they got West Ham, then Newcastle. So the run is basically kind of over at the moment in terms of good fixtures after this Wolves game.
I mean, Villa looks like an okay fixture.
Attacking wise. Defensive wise, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Wolves, the only notable mention I think at this point is Hwang Hee-chan, probably. Neto, we still had to wait till he comes back from injury. That's potentially after international break. But
yeah, I would stay away from Wolves. I think
there's
just no one of fantasy relevance.
Can we see the fixtures?
Wolves, they've got Sheffield. Sorry, they got Spurs this week. Fulham after that. Arsenal in 14. Then they got Burnley, Forest, West Ham.
Yeah, so fixtures get really good in 15. So let's monitor Neto and
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Arsenal. Segue. Arsenal versus Burnley. Now, Saka or Arsenal in general, pretty bad attacking wise, even though Nketiah did score a hat-trick. Overall, they've been pretty poor. They're mid-table.
I think they've created far less XG.
Yes. So if you look at the last 6 game weeks in terms of attack, this is sorted by minutes per XG. They're currently 5th in here. But if I was to sort this by minutes per like XG non-pen, they'll go significantly lower. It's because of those penalties that they got that they're still.
They've got 4, right? 4 or 5. Yeah.
So it's because of that they're still kind of like relevant in here. Their XG delta is also pretty high, but then that's kind of expected. So they're not looking that great at the moment in terms of even look at the big chances created, right? Look at that top table of big chances created. Arsenal are 7. Every other team around them is in double digits. The only 3 teams that are bad are Palace, Bournemouth, and Sheffield United. In terms of less big chances created compared to Arsenal. So numbers aren't looking great. But we've got, or most of us have Saka. Do we all have Saka?
Yep.
Are you looking to double up on Arsenal attack?
I think I'm increasingly not a fan of the idea. I would. I don't have a single Arsenal defender, but I think it'd be nice to have two Arsenal defenders. But yeah, like you said, they're a defensively solid team who have not sort of clicked into the next level of attacking fluidity like last season. Yeah. So maybe Jesus coming back will play, make them a bit more fluid, but let's see.
I think in terms of doubling up for Arsenal mids, I mean, the real favourable options are typically Martinelli or Odegaard. I just think at that price point, you've got better options at the moment with alternate fixtures like your Bowens, and so yeah, I agree with Karan. I think if you don't have an Arsenal defender, while you already have Saka, I would probably be looking more towards a defender, really.
Yeah, fair enough. And Gabriel still the best option from that defense?
In terms of price point, but he got benched that game, which kind of freaked a lot of people out.
But most Arsenal fans seem pretty confident that was fairly insignificant.
Yeah. I think he should be fine, to be honest.
I think Ben White is like, if you had the money, like Ben White would be nice.
Fair enough. But pretty pricey. But if you had the money, most likely. Okay, so those would be the two. Would you go Rhea? The one thing I will say is that Rhea plays Brentford in 13 and he might not play that game because of the on loan from Brentford kind of situation. But if you needed to go for the goalkeeper thing, would you consider Rhea or?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think he seems nailed over Ramsdale and good FPL like characteristics in terms of bonus and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, like it depends on your team situation. Like you said, if he doesn't play against Brentford and you've got a backup for that game week, then you'll be fine going for Rhea. If you've got a wild card this week, and for some reason, if you're wild carding, then I think he'll definitely be in consideration with the upcoming run of fixtures.
Okay, fair enough. Burnley, not really anything to say about, or apart from they're pretty poor defensively.
Apart from they're in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Target 13.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right, moving on. Palace versus Everton. Eze is back. Olise potentially might also be back this week. Not really sure. So the attack is coming back. So they're clicking into gear per se, or should improve on their attacking numbers compared to, let's say, what is on display. But they're going up against an Everton team who are currently 4th best defense in the league in the last 6 game weeks.
Everton have looked way better. Yeah, and we saw that with their underlying stats right at the start of the season.
They were just unlucky.
They kept underperforming. So yeah, it's not.
I think Palace for the short run is good, like 12 to 15. They got good fixtures, but then game week 16 onwards, their fixtures turn
bad
completely.
Yeah,
Liverpool, City, Brighton, Chelsea, Brentford, Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of bringing in players if you've got a plan to wildcard them out or something later on in the week, or you've got some planned transfers. Then it's fine. But if you've got Palace players, hold on to them. But
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Would Palace defense still be an option for those looking for like a defensive move? Like again, we mentioned Spurs, right?
You're thinking Guehi, right?
Guehi or Mitchell. Yeah, one of the two.
About 4.5.
4.6. Yeah. Potentially.
I'm not sure those fixtures are as good as they look. Like the only home games are against Everton. Like the Bournemouth fixture is good, but Burnley away, like it's an away game, and Burnley are pretty attacking. Like
Burnley's done. Sorry, Everton, Luton, West Ham.
Sorry, but sorry, Everton, like we just said, been on a bit of a resurgence. West Ham away, tough game, but it doesn't look that good.
The only good game there is probably the Bournemouth game at home, but that's too close to the bad.
And Luton away, Luton away is fine.
Yeah, so you got the West Ham game. I feel like it's just you're asking for a lot for Palace defenders to achieve in 4 weeks. Yeah, and long term, they're going to get benched, or you're not going to get much returns. So I would stay away from it if you're going to think about transferring
Fair enough.
Palace players.
So I guess we rank Arsenal defense significantly higher than Palace defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From an Everton point of view, obviously fixtures they don't have a stretch of good fixtures, to be honest. It's like on and off kind of situation. Any thought? No, not worth it. Defense? No?
Nothing worth considering, I think.
Okay, let's move. United versus Luton.
That was Did you guys watch the game?
No, I watched the highlights. Now, Bruno Fernandes, on paper, should be a decent captaincy option for this game, but that's on paper and not in reality.
I mean, he does do everything for the team. It's just, they're not creating much at all.
Yeah,
like even his underlying stats aren't very good.
So okay, now Rush, you're holding on to Rashford. Still going to keep him for this game, or what's the plan?
I don't know yet. Actually, I need to see closer to the game week deadline when I do my transfers, whether I'll be playing him or not. Because it's just the game week before the international transfers, I do want to hold on to my extra transfer as well. So if I am to make one transfer, if I've got United playing Luton at home, I don't think I'll be transferring Rashford away.
Fair enough.
I'm just going to stick with him, see what happens. But
cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a don't buy, don't sell for now situation.
Yeah, if I didn't have United players right now, I'm not rushing to bring in Rashford, especially the form they're in. And I just need to see some sort of resurgence from the team. And there's no real bright spark. I mean, I didn't watch the game last week, but it doesn't sound convincing that they scored a late minute goal. So,
they didn't really create much. Yeah.
They look absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Can we look at fixtures though?
Yes, we can. So they got Luton this week and then Everton next week. After the international break. After that, they got Newcastle away and Chelsea at home. Then they got Bournemouth, and then they got Liverpool. Now I should add in all of this, I think they got Bournemouth, Bayern, and Liverpool. So it's not an easy game as well in terms of Europe and everything. So it is a tough run for United after this. So if you have players, I think up to 13 is your best choice of holding. After that, I think you need to kind of sell. Because United's fixtures in like late November, early December aren't great, including Europe as well.
I agree. I agree. I have Dalot, and after the Everton game, I'll look to get rid.
Okay. Then Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Now, another, I think, defensive team that we could probably recommend. Newcastle played Dortmund, lost 2-0. Callum Wilson potentially came off with an injury. Although we'll have to wait and see what Eddie Howe says. Although I don't think we can trust what Eddie Howe says these days as well.
When is Isaac supposedly out till?
Good question. I thought that was a long-term injury, if I wasn't mistaken.
Isaac's expected 25th of November on the FPL website.
So after the international break. Gordon, potential number 9 striker out of position, just in case.
Yeah, great option. Yeah, regardless. Yeah. Plays for the most attacking team in the league, XG-wise.
Yeah. In terms of fullbacks or defense, they're still along with Arsenal, I think they are one of the most reliable defenses regardless of fixture.
So you think even all the injuries haven't made them much worse as a defense?
No, because I think the players they're bringing in are decent, like good enough. Like Livramento is a good substitute.
And the system is solid enough that it doesn't. It can handle people.
It's already been decimated with injuries, and they're still keeping it tight against Arsenal. So
I'm increasingly thinking that Lascelles is a must for every team.
More safer pick probably over Livramento or Hall at the moment. So Hall played left back against Dortmund. Livramento played like right wing.
Right wing, yeah.
But then Hall was subbed off, and I think Trippier went to left back, and Livramento went to right back. So there's a slight. We're still not sure who's going to take the Dan Burn spot for now. Probably Livramento might be the one who plays like right back, and then Trippier plays left back. But I think
what about the Livramento right wing thing? Is that
could
going to keep
happen.
happening?
I won't be surprised
Because
if
Almiron plays there, right? He's available.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see on terms of that. I have Gordon. I'm happy to keep Gordon for the moment because Newcastle again numbers wise are pretty good attacking as well. He does miss quite a bit of chances compared to like an Isak or Wilson. But if he's going to play out of position number 9, if Wilson is also out, then I don't mind it.
I think Gordon's very good on the ball. He's just finishing is just not up to par.
Yeah.
But this season he's managed to.
I mean, he's not a striker, right?
Yeah.
No. But like you said, I think they've got no premier strikers, so they've got to start pushing up. That Joe Linton playing up, and a lot of these defenders playing up as well. But yeah, I think Lascelles at 4 million is a steal. Really,
Yeah, I think
can't
so.
go wrong with that price point for a 90 minutes defender.
And he's nailed. He's 90 minutes every game.
Correct, yeah. And I mean, if you've got the funds and if you can afford Trippier, it's a different ball game altogether. But I think if you can't afford Trippier, which I'm sure a lot of us who've got Salah and Haaland can't, I would lean towards that 4 million price point, and can't go wrong with Lascelles.
Yep. Fair enough. I probably agree because even like Botman is supposed to be out for some time as well. So you're at least getting a player who will play for a decent number of games for now.
Yep.
Once Botman and Burn and all are back, then we can think about it later. But he's still a 4 million price player.
I think the fixtures look a bit tricky. I mean, you got Bournemouth,
yes,
but they got Chelsea and United at home. I mean, the way United's going, I wouldn't be surprised if that might be a clean sheet for Newcastle.
Yeah. But it's at home. That's the thing. Yeah, the tough games are at home.
Yes,
that's a good fixture for Newcastle.
Yeah,
that's a great. Honestly, that's a good defensive fixture for Newcastle. Like I've been saying this for like 3 weeks now. Yeah.
And then they got Everton after that, and then they got Spurs, who are currently decimated, with injuries. Fulham, Luton, and Forest after that. Now the Fulham, Luton, Forest. That's the kind of fixtures we want them for, but it's a very tight turnaround, I think, on the calendar. So you might see rotation play in that situation. But I think Lascelles should be fine given that they don't have much options.
And I think that's why I like Lascelles over Livramento, even though Livramento might have the upside.
Yeah.
As it stands today, like I think Lascelles is better. If Livramento nails down a spot, then of course,
Yep, agree.
Yep. And then there's Trippier. I think you play Trippier regardless of fixture at this point.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Villa versus Fulham. Now.
Anyone watch Villa again? I saw the highlights.
I didn't catch the football.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. They played such a high line that I think Forest could have scored more.
And it seems like they're always going to do that.
Yes. He's like Ange in some way. Like they're going to attack regardless. Thing is, Villa play a consistently regular high line. Now, at home, they're kind of a different beast. At home, they do score quite a bit. So you're hoping that the likes of Watkins, Diaby, and your Villa attackers can deliver. Cash, I think Matty Cash should be fine, potentially. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with regards to Unai Emery, whether he gives anything in the European press conference. If Cash was injured, where would you go? The defenders we mentioned.
Villa?
Yeah, in Villa.
Oh, no.
You probably go out, right? Because Villa's fixtures after this aren't as great.
I mean, Arsenal are the most obvious.
Yeah. Thing. So would you double up on Arsenal defense if you already had one?
I don't have any.
Yeah.
But I would consider. Yeah, because the way the attack is going right now, I don't really care for an extra attacker anyway. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
We just touched upon Newcastle as well.
Yeah.
That's still another option if you don't have Newcastle defender.
I think dropping to Lascelles would be good if you can reinvest the money.
Yeah, fair enough. The other thing I would ask is, if let's say the injury isn't serious, right? If it's like a tiny injury, which he'll probably be back. Let's say he's going to be back after the international break. They got Bournemouth after the international break. Sorry, they got Spurs after the international break, which is not too bad at this point from an attacking point of view. They got Bournemouth after that. Then City and Arsenal is tough. But then they have Brentford in 17. And then in the blank game week, they play Sheffield United. Is it worth maybe even thinking about benching him for those tough fixtures?
No, it's too much money in my opinion.
So if
like
you,
I have, yeah. I mean, if you have Pau Torres or
Yeah.
something at 4.5,
then it's different.
I'd consider, yeah. But
Okay.
I think with cash, I don't mind getting the money out. Yeah.
Rush?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I just think there's better fixtures elsewhere. And if you've got that doubt with cash and he's 5.2 million, I'll be looking at elsewhere.
All right. Cool.
Hey, what's happening with Estupinian?
Don't know. On the grass training, but we don't know when he's back. Like, if he's back this week, I think he's a pretty good direct replacement for Matty Cash, to be honest.
Yeah,
or even like any other defender, like Estupinian probably just like trumps all of them attacking wise, even though Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet.
I just feel like if it's an injury and they've got only one more game week before international break,
Yeah, you just don't risk it.
They might just rest him up
Yeah,
and
that's
give him
right.
more time to recover, depending on how serious the injury is.
Yeah.
There's no need to rush him in to play Sheffield United at home.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So we'll see what happens. But after that, they have still a decent run of fixtures. Not too bad.
We'll get to Brighton when we get there.
Yeah.
Which is next, actually.
Yes, which is next. So just to wrap up on the Villa thing, Karan is the other Karan. We saying that I don't mind cash as a long-term hold. I got cash at 4.6 million. So that would be about 4.9 now. Still quite a lot of money though on cash potentially. But yeah, I guess it depends on who you have as your like other defensive options as well that if you're willing to hold.
I mean, if you got a 4.6 and you got value in him,
yeah,
even if he's benched and he's injured or whatever, you still got some time before you can make a decision.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, and he does have Fulham and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Which if you put and Spurs. Now we spoke about the Spurs injury situation as well. Next three fixtures are looking good, and then you can just reassess before the City game.
Yeah, he's currently 5.2. I also think I got him at 4.6. He's 4.9 for me now. So 5.2 is I still have like quite a bit of value tied up in him. So I also might like think about it if he's like just out for 1 week potentially.
Yeah.
All right, Brighton. We still don't know what happened with Estupinian, so let's assume he's out for now.
Who's the starting striker? I think that's one of the biggest discussion points.
Probably Ferguson.
Is it Ferguson? Yeah, because is Ferguson just going to get 70 minutes a game?
Most likely.
Okay, because then I'm really tempted by Brighton. Like I know they haven't fully clicked yet, but like this is just such a good fixture.
But would you, because after that they got Forest after that away. Forest away is not as easy, but then they got Chelsea.
You can bench him for Chelsea, and then they have Brentford and Burnley at home.
Yeah,
so.
Not too bad actually. But for the third striker or the second striker?
Third striker.
Third striker. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind.
Good job, Pedro. I think. Yeah.
I had Joe Pedro. I don't have him anymore. I probably wouldn't go there anymore. It's just so annoying with like potential rotation and everything.
Yeah.
And it said Deserby made some comment about how he's in the best 11 or something, right? Last week.
Who? Joe Pedro.
You said that? Yeah.
Probably. I haven't seen the comments yet, but I won't be surprised because like right now he's kind of playing consistently at the moment.
Yeah.
Because like it kind of helps that the injuries have also like piled up on Brighton as well in certain positions. Are there anyone else that you probably go for apart from like Mitoma and Joseph Ferguson? Are we thinking is Edingra still like a decent option, or is just Palmer like a significantly better 5 million?
Pascal Gross is an option. Yeah, he's on pens, he's on pens and he's the most nailed, even if he's playing like left back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it, right? Would you go Luis Dub as a defensive or no?
I wouldn't touch Brighton's defense with a 12-foot pole. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've gone got a bit of a bad run last 5 games. Not any good results. I think the only Brighton defender I'll be excited to get in my team is probably Estepinian at any point in time he returns. Midfield, I mean, look, Mitoma is still a very good option at 6.5. And like we said, they've got the fixtures for it. It only takes Brighton a couple more games just to gel together. A few people come back from injury. It's just, we know, we've seen from last season how good of a team they are, and even the beginning of the season as well. So I'll have faith in Brighton. I think it's just a few injuries that they're dealing through. I think that they'll turn around.
Okay.
I agree with Rush. They're too good a team, too good a manager to not start making it click.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I've got Mitoma. I'm happy to keep him, to be honest. And if Estepinian is fit, probably look to bring him in, to be honest. If he's fit, that is. But I don't think he'll be fit by this game week, potentially. And then we got Liverpool versus Brentford. What Liverpool will turn up this week?
I mean, they look pretty good. They had 3 XG sometimes. Yeah.
All to Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you He's such a streaky finisher. Like, it's insane.
Do you think Darwin Nunez is going to continue keeping his spot, or do we think that with Diaz now back, came in, scored the winner, the leveler, will Jota
I
probably...
think he's first choice. I actually just think he's first choice. I think a lot of the chances he gets, like his runs created, his runs create the whole play. Like, he's very good for the way that they play. He just needs to start scoring.
Fair enough. Would you look to go there?
I already have him.
Oh, okay, fine. Oh, yeah.
I think if it all depends on your team formation. Like, you've got Haaland and you've got Watkins already. I'm pretty happy with that. But say you don't have Watkins and you need you can only afford someone in the Darwin price point, and after the City fixture, you probably start looking to bring him in. Maybe.
Yeah.
Having said that, Ryan, I think if you're a Darwin owner like me, it is eventually going to probably become something that you want to transfer out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because after the when he goes to South America to play and he comes back, he's likely to get a rest. He's not nailed, but I do think he's preferred.
The game week after the international is the City fixture, so that'll be, I don't know what that's going to be like. Then they got Fulham, Sheffield United, Palace.
That game week where they play City is the game week where everyone's going to have a really shit team.
Yes, especially captain wise, which we'll get to very soon. Now Tsimikas benched. Now we don't know whether this is the. We don't know whether if it's a proper benching because of targeting opposition where if the opponents cross a lot. In this case, Brentford also might apply to that situation. If, let's say, Tsimikas is benched this game as well, is he a fire to be sold?
If that theory is true, then you think he's going to get benched against Brentford too, right?
Yeah.
Having said that, Joe Gomez, it didn't look like Joe Gomez was very good at left back. So, yeah.
Rush, do you have Tsimikas?
I think I have Tsimikas, but I'm not gonna. I'll just wait and see. If it's just a one-off, and wait till the international break, because there's definitely going to be
something will happen.
Chances of injuries and whatnot. So I wouldn't rush to transfer him out. I would hope that he will play more in that left back role. I think he's very creative. He's been the perfect backup for Robertson throughout. So I think he'll probably still I'm hoping that was just a one-off where he. And he still came on anyway.
Yeah.
It's just not he's ruled out. So
we'll hope for the best with that. And then Salah is just Salah, so you just keep him because he's doing well anyways. All right. West Ham versus Forest. Bowen, still a good option to hold. I mean, or even buy probably.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham, this is a chaotic team
in terms of keeping clean sheets.
Yeah, I really regret going Areola.
Yeah.
Or going Areola as my main keeper. But
I don't know. I have Areola and Turner. Now Turner lost his spot as well, so in this game, so he's not going to play anymore.
But I mean, Bowen looks good. So does Kudus, actually.
I think,
and it looks like Kudus is likely going to get most games as well. So I don't mind going for Kudus. instead of Bowen.
Bowen first preference or Kudus? Probably Bowen. Right?
Bowen's what, 7.6?
7.5 now. It was in price.
Kudus is 6.5.
Yeah,
so
it's a
that's
million.
a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably go Kudus. I don't really have a midfield spot at the moment. Like I'm looking to move Son out at some point, so then maybe Kudus becomes an option. But
Okay.
Yeah. I think West Ham is going to be a must-have over the next 6 to 7 game weeks.
Yeah.
Their fixture is too good.
Yeah.
I know that they don't have a crazy striker with Antonio and Ings. It's just too hard to like predict who. There's such a good price point that you'd look to want at least one of them in, but they're just not consistent enough. So yeah, I think Bowen's just like a must-have. I think going forward, with their fixture run and defense. Like I agree. I think it's just been so inconsistent. Like they're all good price, but look, I think there's a punt there in defense. There's definitely a case to consider a West Ham defender, especially with the fixture run. That's purely it. Like just for the fixture run. I don't see anything crazy, but Sufal or a good whatever.
Yeah,
it's an option.
Yeah, true. But if you have the West Ham keeper, I probably won't double up though.
Yeah.
Agree. Now, from a Forest point of view, are the fixtures like decent? It's not too bad after 14. And they do have the game week 18 fixture against Bournemouth.
None of the good fixtures are home fixtures. That's what.
Yeah, so Everton and Bournemouth are both home. Awani is back as well. So maybe another potential striker to consider. But yeah, maybe not for this game, but probably going forward, something to look at if you want for the game week 18 fixture. I just want to go quickly back to the Brentford one. Both of y'all have Mbeumo. Now, for those looking to buy Mbeumo, I think they're looking at the game week 14 fixture. Where is Brentford? Here we go. Game week 14 against Luton. That's when a lot of people will be looking to get. But is it worth maybe, because if people are thinking, right, of like, oh, we want Mbeumo soon, and if let's say Maddison is kind of out or slightly injured, would you even go, instead of like going to Bowen, would you go straight to Mbeumo?
Look, I actually got Mbeumo in game week 11 because I thought the West Ham game was a good fixture. And the way that I think Mbeumo is it's like a no-brainer FPL asset. And I regret, and that's what I thought at the start of the season. And I had him, and then I somehow convinced myself out of it. And I think I overthought it, to be honest. Like I think I was right the first time. I think he's just going to be in my team for as long as Tony's out. And so I don't really care about the fixtures too much. Like in the sense that Brentford know how to play with the big boys, and they'll play like a very counter-heavy strat with Mbeumo at like the tip of the spear. So I don't think he's ever an FPL asset, a bad FPL asset.
Rush?
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, it all depends, right? I feel like if you don't have Mbeumo, and you'd like to have Mbeumo at some point, especially after the Luton game or for the Luton game. But is there a rush to bring him in for Liverpool and Arsenal? I mean, if there are other fires that need to be put out in your team, maybe do that first. If you've got 2 free transfers and you've got an absolute midfield spot you want to get rid of, and you're sort of planning to keep him for the long run, then you can bring him in. But yeah, I think it's essential, but is it straight away for this week? I don't know.
Not really.
Not against Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Even though he might be fixture proof, but yeah, I think I'll just wait till Luton game if you don't have him already.
Yeah, fair enough. And the final.
So get him at some point. But
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And the final big game, Chelsea versus Manchester City. Now, before Haaland decided to score a brace, I was thinking about selling Haaland because of the upcoming fixtures and also because of the Doku problem. Now, the one thing with the Doku problem is he didn't start the last 2 tougher games that maybe City wanted control in. in terms of Arsenal or United. So you've got Jack Grealish there, and you also had John Stones playing in midfield compared to where John Stones played in defense in the last game. Now in this game, I think Grealish might be back, but then again, Doku was rested in the Champions League, so I don't know where to actually go with this. Would you even think of selling Haaland?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think the selling Haaland train was a few game weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it made sense.
I think it was
then.
a few seasons ago. Actually, it was last season where we stopped selling
it was before he came.
I think we stopped selling Haaland last season.
Okay. So there's like not. It's even though the fixtures are like tough, it's like just so good.
Like Liverpool at home is not a terrible fixture.
Yeah.
Same with Tottenham home, and we know how destroyed their backline is going to be.
Yeah, that's the final game of like
Villa
Romero
away is tough,
yeah,
and Chelsea away is like tough to middling. Yeah,
but not worth enough to like sell him for someone else.
No.
It depends what you do with the money, right? Like if it lets me have like Trippier, or,
yeah, but then
I still don't think that Haaland selling is a good option, guys.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just
I think it was good for 4 or 5 game weeks ago.
Yeah.
4 game weeks.
Yeah, fair enough. From Chelsea's point of view, actually sticking on City, do we expect Doku to play? By the way, in this,
I was looking at City midfield as well, and like the whole I've got Walker from Gameweek 1.
Yeah.
Hasn't really paid off too much I would have liked or hoped for. But City's midfield option is interesting if we know who's going to play, which has always been the issue with Pep Roulette. Doku looked great. The game he
Doku looked amazing.
Yeah. And then they've still obviously got a lot of options in Grealish, who obviously hasn't played too much, but can come off the bench. Bernardo's been featured a lot and probably playing a bit more attacking. And they still got Foden. So they definitely got the options. And it's again the same Pep Roulette of who is going to be playing week in, week out, who's going to be scoring goals. That's not Haaland. Which we're always then swayed off it. Like we would love to have triple City, but it's always Haaland or Alvarez. If Haaland doesn't play, it's Alvarez. And so, I don't know. I don't see any other options where it's mainly due to the nailed on factor. There's no one nailed on apart from Haaland.
Yeah, that's
Alvarez. Alvarez is pretty nailed on.
But then you need to switch your like team structure to a 3-4-3 kind of situation, unless you're already in a 3-4-3.
Oh right, because of Watkins.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like maybe you could go to Alvarez after.
I think for me, Darwin to Alvarez is something I'm considering eventually.
Yeah. Or even Watkins to Alvarez could be something like after potentially even after the Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
For City, because City they get this good run from where is it? They get it from 16. They got Villa after that as well. So before that as well, but they do have the
one thing to note with Alvarez. Sorry, Karan, you mentioned Alvarez as well. Is that KDB is scheduled to come back in Gameweek 17. So when their run turns, KDB comes back, and that once he eases back in, they'll just go back to the usual KDB Haaland formation once he's in 100% fitness. So
what do you think of Foden as an FPL asset?
I owned him for so many game weeks before the wildcard. He's good for City, just not returning enough points. Yeah,
he's a very good player.
Yeah,
I think he's just not giving enough FPL returns.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You see his goal in the Champions League?
Yeah. But then he'll do stuff like that.
Pretty selfish.
He doesn't return enough in terms of for all the other 7 million price bracket players. They're more consistent.
Is he on set pieces? Is Foden on corners?
No, Alvarez is.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that kind of diminishes value as well. He's not on pens, not on corners.
Yeah, that's the thing. Probably go somewhere else.
There's no real upside. Yeah.
Chelsea. Palmer still doing well, getting those
Palmer's
penalties.
the best
sub 6 million price player.
Sub 6 million player in the game,
Yeah. Thinking about getting him maybe when the fixtures turn, I think, for Chelsea.
When I wildcarded 4 or 5 game weeks ago, before Palmer, it was I got Enzo instead, but I so wish I got Palmer.
Can you go to Palmer? Or you don't have the money?
Yeah, I not straight away.
Yeah.
It's not really a priority because it's for the bench.
Yeah.
But I would like to eventually.
Yeah, because that run in 16 is just too good to kind of ignore for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Great.
So Colville, Palmer, a few other options.
Yeah. I think
when is Nkunku going to come back?
Nkunku is supposed to be back soon, I think. Oh, at least according to the FPL app. It says, where is Nkunku?
25th of November.
There you go. That's after international break.
Gameweek 13, yes.
Yeah. So even then, I probably wouldn't rush Nkunku, but because of the tough fixtures, it's a good time to give him to like ease back in as well before we think about the really good fixtures for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Chelsea is definitely a team to watch for the game week 16 onwards run. If you don't have Chelsea players, like I don't think a lot of people have Chelsea players apart from Augusto or.
I think a few have Palmer on the bench, but that's
Palmer,
basically
correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like Karan mentioned, once Nkunku is back, and that fixture run turns, you'll be definitely keeping your eye on that Chelsea team. And if Reece James doesn't get injured, he becomes a good option if he starts playing and gets more minutes.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, definitely a team to watch out for.
Yeah. And then Karan says, good
Colville,
point.
4.5 Colville is...
is defensive option.
Yeah.
And then Karan in the chat says, good point, KDB, about KDB. And then Palmer will be prime 7th attacker come game 16. Probably will, yeah. Now, that's the last bit of the fixtures. Captaincy. Interesting week for captaincy. Where are you thinking? Like, is Salah at home like the default option, or is that a case for even Watkins against Fulham? And are we confident at all about Saka against Burnley?
I'm least confident about Saka.
Yeah.
In those three, I prefer Salah, Watkins, Saka. And I prefer, I don't know, probably all three to Haaland.
Rush?
Yeah.
I don't have Watkins, but if I had Watkins, I'd probably captain him. Mainly because I feel like Villa needs to bounce back.
Yeah.
I think they'll be hungry before the international break just to go in with the win.
And they're so good at home.
Yeah, exactly.
They score a lot of goals at home.
100%. And I feel like Watkins' XG's been through the roof. So he's just due a couple of goals soon. Yeah. But yeah, at the moment, if you don't have Watkins, I've got Salah, Saka, and Haaland. I haven't decided yet. At the moment, I've got it on Saka, but it's going to definitely change a couple of times before deadline.
We didn't speak about Nketiah, Ryan.
Yes, I was thinking about Nketiah as a Haaland sale, but now, the thing that kind of put me off that as well, and also like not selling Haaland, or at the moment at least I'm thinking about not selling Haaland, it's because there was this thing about Gabriel Jesus being added to the Brazil squad. So that might mean that maybe Jesus is back sooner than later. Obviously, Arsenal have, I think, contacted the Brazil squad to kind of like find out about that. So they maybe don't want to send Jesus on international duty. But then that kind of tells me that, okay, Jesus is fit enough to even think about going for international duty. Yeah. So, and like if you get in Nketiah now, it's like a 1 week, maybe 2 week punt at best.
I think at best it's 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Because I think, and also we talked about the offense struggling to find fluidity. I think Jesus answers some of those problems.
Yeah, indeed.
So I love it. I was briefly considering Son out for Martinelli.
I was thinking of Maddison out for Martinelli as well, and I still don't mind it.
Transfer. I don't mind it either. Like I don't want to find myself stuck with 2 Arsenal attackers.
Fair enough.
I haven't sort of clicked yet.
Yeah, like I don't mind it because of the fact that if I want to go for Mbeumo in 2 game weeks, I can do that. Like Martinelli to Mbeumo in 2 game weeks.
Yeah.
But then I just don't go for like a Bowen in my case. That's
yeah,
the thing.
but Bowen might be better anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, something to kind of keep in mind. Another captaincy shout: Trippier versus Bournemouth.
Yeah, good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad shot. The only thing is that it's an away game, which kind of puts me off, but it's not a bad shot.
Yeah.
All right. Team attack: Liverpool on top, thanks to Darwin Nunez. Newcastle in second, Chelsea, Brentford, and Arsenal. That's your top 5, but I think Arsenal, take it with a pinch of salt, given that the number of penalties, because it's sorted by minutes per XG. Bad attacks: Sheffield, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Burnley, and Forest. This is why we think Newcastle defense could be good. Arsenal defense could be good because they're playing teams at the bottom right there in terms of attack. And obviously United attack is also at the bottom. Oh my god. This is why Bruno Fernandes is just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got team defense: City on the top, Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton, Fulham, interestingly, up there as well, alongside Villa and Chelsea. And then at the bottom,
I wish I had Leno. I wish I had Leno.
Such a good keeper option. But
yeah,
I wish I had Johnston. That another good keeper option.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sheffield at the bottom alongside Bournemouth, Luton, Burnley. Now, does this worry you that West Ham is there at the bottom, or do you think that the fixtures will kind of improve and like the attack will be decent?
It worries me, and it's why I didn't go Bowen on wildcard. But I don't know. He still looks very, very talismanic for them.
Okay.
But see what Kudus does though. It might be good to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the Kudus 1 million difference could be a decent alternative, especially if you want to like switch your midfield slightly.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a small part of it that is attributed to the fixtures that they have played the last few game weeks.
Yeah.
They've had Newcastle, Villa, and obviously Forest with it. But I think they should turn around.
All right. We will want to monitor and see. And then we've got defenders. Trippier just...
Sorry, Ryan. Yes. Any defenders we can consider from Fulham? Castagna?
Not with the fixtures, I think. Where's Fulham? So they got Villa this week. Oh, not bad.
Because, in 13, they have a good fixture.
Yeah, and then 18, who did they play? They play Burnley in 18. So maybe one team to consider as well. Who else was there? I think there was one player. Who is this? Tim Ream? Potentially? 4.5? Maybe as another option as well. I'll probably go him over Castagna, I think, maybe. But overall, I don't know.
Stay away.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
All right, and then defenders in general. Trippier on his own in a different league, which is why I still think he's like good to get and even good to hold if needed. Dunk in there and Luka Dean. After that, we got cash. People have cash. Trent is there, but too expensive. Dalot is there, but fixtures about to turn bad. Ent Nouri and Doughty.
Ayer is pretty interesting.
Yeah, Brentford. That's why he's been in here for some time now. But
Brentford play Sheffield sometime soon.
Yes,
where the worst team at attacking and at defending set pieces, and then they'll double soon after. So.
Maybe one to consider. There aren't that many other good defenders like on here.
No. It's crazy, right? The top 10 or top 15 defenders.
Yeah.
There aren't
top
any
20.
big hitters apart from like Trippier and Trent, I guess. But there's no your usual suspects.
Yeah.
Making up this list. It's just a whole wide. You got Luton defenders up there. You got.
Estupinan is still on this list, and he's been out for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think after this next 6 game weeks where Arsenal and Newcastle defenders, they have that run, I would expect to see more of them making up this list. You see Gabriel, you should start seeing Ben White and pop up on this list.
Yeah, true.
I think the craziest thing is Trent, right? How Szoboszlai has really made Trent not look for the final ball as much, and you can really see it in these stats. So.
8 chances created, which is pretty low for Trent compared to previous seasons.
Yeah, he used to always lead these charts.
Yeah, that's the thing.
How good is Dowdy from Luton? His stats, insane.
Wouldn't go. This is why Jogum is started. Those chances created are probably all crosses. But they don't have people to finish it. That's the thing. In terms of midfielders, Salah up there. Look at Palmer, 5 million option, and Mbeumo. Richarlison is on there. Son is there. Brennan Johnson.
Mbeumo, it doesn't show up in the expected stats, but Mbeumo was so close to returning big.
Yeah.
Against West Ham.
He could have got so much.
In all the right spots.
Yeah. Hit the post as well as usual. That doesn't count as well. Then you got Jota, Saka, Gordon, and then at the bottom you got Odegaard, Watt-Plus, Diaby. Any midfielders kind of stand out for you here, or you the usual suspects, I guess?
Brennan Johnson. That's interesting.
Yes, he could be an option, but then again, tough fixtures, and we've already spoken about selling Newcastle. I mean, it's a Spurs defense. The one thing with the Brennan Johnson, even that specific role, is that whenever Spurs have considered like a red card, the first person to be sacrificed is either that Brennan Johnson or Richarlison.
Yeah.
Not that they're gonna like.
I mean, Romero's already sent off. Right?
Yeah, that's true. So it's not like they're gonna get more red cards in the future. But that's the thing. Just that's just the one thing. But I mean, if you're already looking to like offload the likes of Madison and Son, I don't know if it's worth even going for Brennan Johnson. Maybe after the fixtures turn, but not now.
I just saw the comment Karan made in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Palmer is the biggest gift in the game.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I would agree. And then anything else, Rush, from here?
No, I was saying even like I know we haven't touched upon Souček,
yes.
But again, if you're looking for that midfield option for a low price point, someone who's got very good fixtures, he's someone you can consider as well.
Yeah, but the thing with Souček, I think he's lost his place somewhat. He's playing in and off. That's the one thing that
That's
I probably...
that risk.
Yeah, there is that risk. That's the one thing. But I still think Palmer might be like just go to the point.
Oh, yeah, no.
Go for
100% Palmer. Yeah. I'm just saying fixtures-wise right now, I think...
If anyone wants. Yep. Yeah. And then forwards. Isak is still here. He's injured for the moment. Jackson. Look at Jackson. Stat padding his way to... the top of the table.
Terrible, man.
That was bullying, man. That was bullying. It was like a FIFA game. It was like a FIFA game where you're playing against like the bots on like easy mode.
Yeah, it's so bad. He missed so many chances before they went down to 9 men.
Even when they went down to 9 men, there was this one chance he got and he just skied it. I was like, that's the Jackson we know. But yeah, he's just there for the sake of being there. Wilson is there. Haaland is in 4th. Usually Haaland will be on top of this list, but it's kind of showing with the whole lack of creators for them. And then at the bottom, you got Højlund, Antonio, and Joe Pedro. And Alvarez as well. Numbers have dropped.
Calvert-Lewin, man. That's the
cheap striker that you want, but the fixtures aren't great.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. All right, that's forwards. And now, those were the teams that we discussed. Before we end and look at the panel team, quick question there is from Karan with regards to his team. He's got Areola, Trips, Gabriel, Tsimikas, Salah, Son, Saka, Bowen, Diaby, Watkins, and Darwin. So no Haaland. On the bench, he's got Turner, Cash, Kabore, and Mubama. If Cash is fit, would you consider bench boost with Kabore and Mubama to Guehi and Nketiah?
Oh, that's interesting.
So the bench would be Guehi, Nketiah, Matty Cash. That's it, because Matt Turner has lost his place, so he's not playing. You'll have 3 players, those 3.
I mean, I think in Nketiah you'll get this one game week, but
against
then after
Burnley.
that it becomes a problem you'll need to solve.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like the opportunity cost is the big double game week towards the end of the season, right? Because this season we're expecting 2 big doubles.
Probably.
No, sorry, 1 small double and 1 big double, right? That's what I saw last. So so the opportunity cost of using bench boost in game week 36 or whatever is
bigger than right now.
It's a big one for me. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But that is a really good team. That's one of the better teams I've seen for this
Yeah,
game.
I think it's not a bad bench boost. It's just that you don't have a goalkeeper who's not going to play, and I feel like those 2 free transfers could potentially be used.
Oh yeah, yes, Turner. Yeah, okay. In that case, I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Probably not.
I mean, it's definitely a good team to consider for bench boost, but I think if you want to save it for a better
there is
it's probably better possibilities. But it's definitely looking like a solid team for this.
The reason it's solid as well is because there's no Haaland. So all the money has been spread out, kind of thing. So he might not have this similar bench in the future if he brings back Haaland. That's the one thing to kind of consider. I
think lack of playing keeper makes it not that great.
Yeah, if you could have got like another playing keeper in there, I might have thought about it, but probably not. That's the one thing. But yeah, that's basically it. And before we run out, panel team needs surgery, man. I think it's like it's like requesting for
it always comes back though.
I know it does, but like it had 23 points this week, and we even picked the correct captain. We thought, and it just still didn't work out. But look at that bench of the penalty.
Jesus Christ!
Sad life, man. Sad life.
All right.
So the penalty team this week. This is how it looks like. I benched Tsimikas because I thought the others had better fixtures. We have 2 free transfers, by the way.
I think we hit the Watkins cap on the panel team for sure.
All right.
Yeah. And 2 free transfers. Then I like.
Do we want to get rid of
out?
Porro, Madison, yeah.
Bowen.
Yeah, we could do Bowen. Or do we want to go?
Oh, Kudus. You want to punt on Kudus on the penalty?
Good. I don't mind punting on Kudus because I think the thing is, by punting on Kudus potentially, it also gives us the option to later upgrade Gordon to an Mbeumo if you wanted to.
Or you can go Kudus to Mbeumo if it doesn't work out.
Kudus to who?
Kudus to Mbeumo later if it doesn't work out.
We could.
Are we trusting Porro more than Madison this week against? Because I noticed you're starting Porro.
Yeah, against Wolves.
Actually, we should get rid of Porro, right?
For who? Lascelles?
Yeah, I mean, probably jump on the Lascelles gift.
Yeah, I know.
And then gives us options down the line with the money.
You guys have a good fixture, right, this week?
Bournemouth
away.
Sorry,
yeah, it's not too bad like the fixture still.
Yeah. But at least you have you're playing 3-5-2.
Yeah.
You got your defender who's actually
Lascelles, Paul, and Gabriel. Yeah. All pretty good. Okay, we'll probably do that then.
And Madison's a maybe, right? Like he's not.
Yeah, he's not a confirmed out. No.
Yeah. So.
If he's like a confirmed out, we can just use the other free transfer to like move him out.
Yeah. I think, but we can wait on that.
Yeah.
I still think you can even go 4-4-2. You can even play Tsimikas. I'm like, there's a chance he still might play as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That's true. So, you could also there's Mitoma as well that we don't have in this team. That's probably a DRB thing to it.
I'm not that high on Mitoma, man.
Because of their lack of attacking numbers recently.
No, I just don't think he's a wide player. He's a great player, but I just don't think he's a massive FPL asset.
I know. I think Estupinan not being there has impacted that as well.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll do this and we will see what happens to Madison. So for now, we'll keep it like this. But if Madison is kind of out, we could also switch to a 4-4-2 like you mentioned.
Yeah.
All right. And we have Reyes goalkeeper, so we don't have to worry. There's a double Arsenal defense. The only problem is next week we might have a situation where we don't have a keeper playing. Turner's lost his spot. But apart from that, that's the only difference. Maybe we go to a 3.9. I don't know. I think, that's it. Watkins cap. Should be fine.
Yeah, Watkins cap. Yeah.
All right, cool. And that's basically it. Thank you to Rush and Karan for joining me. And thank you to everyone who was in the comments as well and keeping us company. And for those who are watching back as well, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Any final words before we leave?
I hope United gets a win.
I
Like
hope
a
so
more
as well.
convincing win. I mean, we've got the game
Champions League or
tomorrow.
Like,
yeah.
I'd love to say like a 3-0 plus. Yeah.
I know we've only won like
Yeah.
1-1-1-1. So yeah, we'll see. Must win game in Champions
And
League.
if Johnny Evans keeps starting, he might be my team very soon.
Well, wait and see. But yeah, we'll end it with that. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and good night, everyone.